We have some mail to unbox. First thing I got is some Lume deodorant. I went ahead and got the dual set, the stick and the cream. One of the books that I did not get on my Nashville trip that I really wanted is the 7 Year Slip by Ashley Poston, and I just know that I'm gonna love this. I loved her first book. It is a little damaged. Yeah, you can kind of see it right there. That's a little damaged, but that's fine with me. But I am going to be buddy reading this with Keisha from A Book Like You in September, so yay. I also ordered The Spare Room by Andrea Bartz, and I ordered this because this is going to be the Sleep When I'm Dead book club pick for Jesse's book club. Jesse's my bestie, so I've been keeping up with all of the book club picks this year. A memoir of lying, stealing, writing, and healing: The Many Lives of Mama Love by Laura Love Hardin. And I am finally excited that I got my hands on it. Let's see. She recounts her slide from soccer mom to opioid addict to jailhouse shot caller, and her unlikely comeback as a highly successful ghostwriter in this harrowing, hilarious, no-holds-barred memoir. I got the Lisa Jewell book, None of This Is True, which... I'm gonna definitely be reading this like right away. When a famous podcaster interviews a stranger promising to divulge the story of a lifetime, secrets emerge that threaten to expose the truth of the lives they've both worked hard to project and protect. All right, it is time to do the wacky hair picture. I went and got some balloons at Party City. Here they are. And I braided my hair. It's time to get my picture. So yeah, this is gonna be so fun. I hope it comes out like my inspo pic. I am working on getting my 80s photos. So I have these fishnet gloves kind of things, and I have this shirt, and I did my makeup crazy, like very heavy blush and like some pink like pops on the edge. We're going to get some Starbucks. Then I will come back and officially start the vlog. Hi friends, it's Gwen. Welcome back to my channel. Today is day number 1 of the back to school readathon. I have been waiting for this day for so long, and I'm just so excited for all of the participation, the photos, the vlogs, just everything, the sense of community. I don't know, I'm just so excited. But I just went to Starbucks and I got my favorite fall drink, which is not the pumpkin spice latte. It is the apple crisp oat milk macchiato. It is so good. It is fall in a beverage. It's so much better than the pumpkin spice latte, dare I say it. But yeah, I have been looking forward to it forever. I actually had all intentions to get a pumpkin spice latte, but then I saw that this was back on the menu too. So I was like, I gotta get my fave. So I'm very excited to have this in my life again. I live on these things all season long. I didn't eat breakfast, so I am currently frying 2 eggs and some Asiago cheese bread. I'm gonna make a little like breakfast sandwich with some cheese, and I need to start reading because it's already 12:20 in the afternoon on the first day. I do have reading sprints tonight. Let me grab the book and tell you what I'm gonna be reading. So I decided to start with like one of the novels that is on my TBR, and I am gonna be reading the All Pair by Emma Rouse. This is for social studies. So like I've said before, I've read one other book by Emma Rouse, The Perfect Guests, and I really enjoyed that. So this is her debut, and I've heard it's even better. So I'm really excited to jump into this. So I'm going to continue making my breakfast over there, and then I'm going to jump into this, and I'll try to update you as much as I can. There are reading sprints tonight. I'm also going to be working on my whole table is kind of like a, I don't know, like a little station set up to do some blind dates with a book. I have all of these wrapped, and I've already written like the clues and stuff on them, like the genre and the clues, and I have like all the things over here. So I'm doing some blind dates with the book, and I'm going to be selling them on Instagram and my Patreon. My Patreons, of course, get a discount, but I thought that would be super fun, and they're all fall books. So I may drop these on September 1st. We shall see, but stay tuned for that. Okay, y'all, I'm getting a late start on my reading because while I ate my breakfast, I watched Big Brother from last night because I had my book club meeting, and y'all, that episode was intense. But now it's officially time to start reading. All right, here's progress on the blind dates with the book. I'm still waiting for the bookmarks to come in, but we have the chai pumpkin spice. We have some stickers, some silk fake leaves, some confetti. Have all the clues and stickers on there. So I just woke up from a nap, and I'm in the current process of making an egg and cheese bagel for dinner because it's quick, because it's already 7:30. Sprints start at 8. So I have my egg going, I have my bagel going, I have my cheese right here, and I have a Limoncello LaCroix in here. So I'm kind of running around like a chicken with my head cut off, but it's almost sprint time. We have 2 games. We have some reading to do. I did start reading this. I made it to chapter 10, page 110, and I'm enjoying it so far. It's basically what has happened in the synopsis is what has happened in the book. You have Seraphine who finds a picture, and there's only one baby in the photo, and she's like, okay, who is it? Is it me, or is it my twin brother Danny? And then she asks her brother Edwin about it, and then his au pair gets involved. Like, he's like, oh, I think she took the picture. So then Seraphine's trying to track her down, and it's a whole thing. So she's basically just tracking people down, trying to find out who was there that day, who took the picture, who's the child in the picture. Like, why does it matter? But she's also like, this is the last picture of my mom, and it's on the day that we were born. Why is she only holding one of us? Good morning. It's day 2 of the back to school readathon. Currently making some coffee over there with my cute little mug that I got in Nashville, and unbeknownst to me, I met the artist who made it when I bought it, so that was pretty cool. Last night we did a reading sprints on my channel for about 3 hours. We also played a couple of games, so if you're looking for some fun reading sprints to like watch anytime or see some back to school trivia and stuff like that, check it out. But I was reading this and I made it to page 272, so I have less than 100 pages to go. So I'm hoping to get my morning coffee and knock this out as my first book for the readathon. Like I said, I'm reading this for social studies. No idea what I'm gonna read next, but yeah, having a good morning. Had a good night last night, and yeah, let's go ahead and jump into the day. So I promise I got that chair for me, but Charlie thinks it's hers. Look at her in my reading chair. Alrighty friends, update. I finished the Au Pair. I really don't know. It was okay, which in my rating system is a 2-star, but I really did like the atmosphere and the characters and the writing, so I'm gonna bump it up to a 3 stars. Definitely not as good as the second. Just a little bit more slower paced. It felt a little bit longer than it needed to be. I actually liked the Au Pair's chapters the best, but nothing was really happening in her chapters except for she was accepting the job as the Au Pair, going to the Somerset house, nannying Edwin, dealing with the mom and just like the family drama and stuff like that. But yeah, that was an interesting POV for sure. Right, so I decided what my next book's gonna be. One Evil Summer by R.L. Stine. This fits 2 prompts. It is for math and for science. So we have a number in the title, 1, and then if you look closely, there's a moon. So, since it's gonna fit for 2 prompts, sorry it's so blurry, but since it's gonna fit for 2 prompts, I figured I should go ahead and knock it out. Plus, I do not have an audiobook for this one. So, I love this bookmark. I got it at the Beyond Van Gogh experience that I went to. Yeah, but I have to read this physically, so I'm gonna do that. But first, I need to fix this hair. My bookmarks came in that I've been waiting on. There's like 30 of them here, I think, but they're really cute. They're kind of like a collage. All of them are different, and so I took pictures of all the individual books, and then I went ahead and started wrapping them how they'll come to you if you buy one. And then I'll put this in the envelope, and then I'll throw some of this in there, and I'll throw some of this in there. But yeah, it's so cute. Hello friends, happy day 3 of the back to school readathon. It's 1 p.m. already. I had to go over to my mother-in-law's today and take care of some things, and I just ate lunch and I have a couple of things to do. But the first thing that I thought I would do is open up my Goose Creek order. I saw Keisha from A Book Like You post about these Scooby-Doo fall candles, and both of us love Scooby-Doo, so I definitely had to get a couple of the candles, and I'm just so excited to see them in person and smell them. The first one I got is the Forbidden Forest. That's what that one looks like. It kind of smells like a spa. Let's see, does it have the scent on it? It does not. I don't think it has it on here, but it smells really, really good. And then my next candle, I only got 2. Legend of the Vampire. It looks like this. And this one has a more like fruity, like almost like a candy bubblegum scent. Okay, my second task is to actually send out 2 blind dates with a book. I'm sending out this fantasy one, and then I'm also sending out this romance one. I also wanted to do a reading update, of course, because yesterday I finished One Evil Summer, and this counts for science for the moon on the cover and math because it has the number 1 in the title. Yeah, so I finished this. It was a really short Fear Street, like vintage YA horror story about this family that is going on vacation away from Fear Street for the summer. And since the oldest daughter, Amanda, is in summer school, they need a babysitter. So they hire this woman named Chrissy, and she is evil. Of course she is, you know? So it was very campy, and I really enjoyed it. I'm not gonna rate it because I find some vintage, like things like, if I would have read this when I was 15, I would have ate it up. It would have been 5 stars. But like as an adult, it's like the ridiculous nature of it, you know? You definitely do have to suspend your disbelief and like just go with it and know that it's ridiculous. But yeah, I had a super fun time reading it, and I'm glad that I did, and I will continue to read these books as I find them and get them. But then I moved on to Ballad for Sophie, and I'm reading this for art class for my graphic novel. This is one that Elizabeth from Ponytails and Paperbacks sent me during Let's Get Graphic back in March. It's one I have had on my wish list forever. It's a little bit more of like an expensive graphic novel. It is an adult graphic novel. It's 305 pages. The artwork is stunning, and I do love this like palette that it has going on. It's all like muted and very like detailed and beautiful, and the story is so tragically beautiful. I have a feeling I'm reading like my favorite graphic novel of all time. So last night I read 54% of it, and I'm about to go sit down and read the rest of it, I think. And then I have some things to get ready for tonight's live show. I'm doing the summer reading wrap-up live show, and I just like printed out a little document that I'm gonna follow, like kind of like the flow of the show. And since it's the summer reading wrap-up live show, I have to not only have the books that I read so far this month, but the books that I read in June and July as well. So later on I will have to pull those all off of my shelf and stack them up here on my desk. And I'm actually going to do the live show out in the dining room, so I'm definitely going to have to clean off that table or organize it a little bit better right now, so I have room for all of the things that I need. But so far, that's what's going on. That's an update on my reading. Yeah, so the only thing I really have left is like, I'm gonna read this, and I have a couple more graphic novels I want to get to, and then I want to read When in Rome by Sarah Adams, which I believe I'm gonna start tomorrow on reading sprints. So that's the plan. But let's get through the day. I'll update you more on Ballad for Sophie when I finish it. But there is so much going on in this story, and it's crafted so well, and the artwork is beautiful, and it's just something special, y'all. I finished this before I took a nap, and I'm giving it 5 stars. It was so good. I'm still hunting down some books, but I'll show you the stacks after I'm done. All right, friends, here are all the books that I read this summer. These are the books that I read in June. These are the books that I read in July, and this is my stack so far for August, but that is a crap ton of books. Before my nap, I read Ballad for Sophie by Philippe Meloy and Juan Cavia. Obviously, it's been translated from Portuguese. And this is a graphic novel, meaning there are naked women in here, there's drugs in here, what else? I don't remember any like bad language, but there could possibly be that in here. So it is an adult graphic novel with graphic content in it. But it takes place from 1933. Sorry, is this distracting? It takes place from 1933 until 1997. And it reminds me a lot of The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, where she's sitting down with a journalist telling her life story, focusing on her 7 husbands and who was her greatest love. In this one, this man is sitting down with a journalist telling his life story about being a grand pianist and the competition and just like the backstory of like him being like famous and stuff like that, and like kind of his rivalry with this other pianist and how he was always jealous of him because the other guy was like a virtuoso and, you know, things like that. They met at a competition when they were young kids. This is our main character, and this is like the guy that's like really, really good. But you find out like who wins that initial competition and just like all of the stuff that happens after that. There's literally so much that happens in this book, because from 1933 to 1997, that's a very long period of time. There are times that just because we're like really dealing with like a large stretch of time, there are moments that are a little bit thinner than others as far as like explanation and story flow and stuff like that. But overall, I just felt something when I read this. There's love, there's heartbreak, there's mystery, there's intrigue, there's art, there's passion, there's family, there's abuse, there's, I don't know, it's just something special. And yeah, I would highly recommend it if like stuff like that doesn't bother you. There's a little bit of like fantasy elements in here, or like fantasy things, like I don't even know how to explain it. Like a floating piano, or like one character is drawn like a goat the entire time, and then obviously that person's not a goat, but he's just like, that's basically what I remembered of them. But then you do finally get to see the person. But it was just so good. So if you like The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, you're looking for something kind of similar but also totally different, check this one out, Ballad for Sophie. So Elizabeth, thank you so much. I literally think this is my favorite graphic novel I've ever read. Next up on this reading journey, we're gonna start Batter Royale, which is about a baking competition recipes. So I'm gonna be reading this, and I have some time before the live show, so I thought, let me go ahead and knock this out. I've just been sitting here drinking my coffee, reading this graphic novel, and I finished it. I'm gonna give it 4 stars. It was really cute. You do have to suspend your disbelief a little bit. It's about these two that team up to go on this like cooking competition in London, and it's a little chaotic. Like, I don't feel like they knew the full extent of this reality show that they were gonna be on, but it was just, it was so wholesome, you know, it was so fun. I liked the inclusion of the recipes, and they actually seem pretty easy, even though they seem like fancier. But yeah, 4 stars. Loved the romance, loved the like competition aspect, and yeah, it was just really, really cute. But there was also some stuff going on in the background, like parents are separating. His mom like has a restaurant, she might lose the restaurant. Like she's going off to college and she's trying to get into this culinary school, but her parents don't have the money, and she's like, how am I gonna get in? And like he's just like following in his mom's footsteps, and there's just like a lot going on. But I thought it was really cute, and I would definitely read like a second graphic novel of these two, like where they are now type thing, which means I have crossed off another class, and I believe I only have 2 classes left, I think. Good morning. Happy day 4 of the back to school readathon. Last night before my summer wrap-up show, I did finish the Heartstopper yearbook, and I wasn't sure if I updated you or not, but this is basically an art book, and it has a lot of different things that it covers. But by reading this, it says like also by Alice Oseman, and I have literally read volumes 1, 2, 3, and 4, Solitaire, Radio Silence, I Was Born for This, Nick and Charlie, and This Winter. And the only one I haven't read is Loveless, and I used to have that, but I unhauled it because I'm not really interested in like the world. I just love Nick and Charlie. So anyway, this there is an introduction by Alice Oseman, and then it goes into like character bios, like this is hers, but it does one for Nick and Charlie and other characters from the Heartstopper universe. And then like here's Nick, here's Charlie, and then it talks about her art and the evolution and the look and the like the style and the precision and just kind of like the style changes and stuff. She starts in 2013, 2014, 2015, and it goes all the way up to 2022, and it came out in 2022, so there's not 2023 in there. She also does some like comics, or like kind of like bonus comics, like stuff that wasn't put into the final draft, or origin stories and stuff like that. So there's a couple of like little comics in here, and then she also teaches you like how to draw the characters, which I think is cool. Overall, is it necessary to the story of the Heartstopper universe? No, it's just an art book. It's kind of like her telling the story of the Heartstopper universe. So I really enjoyed it, and as an art book, it gets a 5 out of 5 from me, which means I only have one more book on my TBR, and that is When in Rome by Sarah Adams. And tonight we're doing reading sprints over on Jesse's channel at Reading with Jess, and I'm going to be starting this then, possibly, or maybe if I have time today. There are a lot of words on these pages, like a lot. So I think it's gonna be like longer than I think it is, but I have 4 days to finish this, so I did set myself up for success. So I think I can do it, but what I really need to do right now is eat some breakfast. So I'm gonna make an egg and cheese bagel sandwich, and then I'm gonna clean off my dining room table because it is an absolute disaster. With all of the blind date with a book stuff, I just really need to clean that up because it's giving me like anxiety looking at it like that. So I'm gonna make breakfast, I'm gonna eat that, and then I'm gonna clean up that and organize it a little bit better. And yeah, okay, that's the plan for this morning. it got really, really dark in here all of a sudden. Like, if I turn off this light, look how dark it is. And I realized it's because it looks like it's going to storm outside. So I have this like blue cast. I'm sorry, but that's just the way it is. Over there, it's all dark. It's all dark over there. A little bit lighter over there, but not by much. So it's definitely going to storm. I finished my breakfast, put up my dishes, and now I need to clean this mess up. I knew it was gonna rain. You can definitely see it on the windows. And there's Charlie. What you get, Squirrel? Is this what you got? Magic jerky bars? Okay, let me get you one. You sit. Charlie, lay down. Lay down. Lay down. Good girl. Change of plans. There's been a national weather emergency update, flash floods, and I can attest we are flooding right now. Tried to go to 𝒂𝒏𝒂𝒔𝒕. There was no parking spaces. Wanted to go to the bookstore. The road was being roped off by police, and I could go around like the highway way, but I don't want to drive on the highway in this. So instead, I'm gonna go to Michael's and just walk around for a little bit, and then probably go home. Change plans, but gotta roll with it. So maybe I'll go to the bookstore tomorrow, but this is not the vibe. So my plans did obviously change because of the flooding and because of roads being blocked off. The coffee shop that I went to, there was no parking spaces. Then I was like, okay, I'll just go to Michael's. And then I got to Michael's and I was like, really? I don't even need to go to Michael's, but I could go to the book exchange. So that's what I ended up doing. And I did walk out with some books. So first up, I got this strange little backlist book of the month book. This is from December 2016. It's called Pull Me Under by Lucy by Kelly Luce, and it's talks about Japanese, like what does it say, Japan and its culture, and it's an exploration of home, identity, and the limits of forgiveness. So I love the cover, and I thought, why not give it a shot? I do love Japanese books. I also saw a copy of The Senator's Wife by Liv Constantine. I've read at least 2 of her books and I've enjoyed them, so I'm hoping to enjoy this one too. It was one of my most anticipated books of the year and it was there, so I figured why not. I also saw an Anya Alborn, Shuddering. This is more of like a winter horror book, but it could be a good transition book from fall into winter or just to read this winter, but I never see her books there, so I'm just really happy that I found it and I decided to give it a shot. And then I got 2 YA books, which I don't read a lot of, but this one takes place in Quantico, Virginia, because this serial killer survivor and a U.S. Marshal candidate are recruited by the FBI to interview convicted juvenile killers and provide insight on cold cases. So None Shall Sleep. I thought that would be good for fall. And then I also got Clown in a Cornfield, which is a good like YA slasher. So those are the books that I got at the book exchange. I think I'm just gonna make myself a cup of coffee and relax for a little bit and then decide what my next move is. But of course I will take you along with me. But I'm looking forward to sprints tonight. It's about time for reading sprints. It's 7:40, so I'm just getting myself ready. I think Daniel's outside talking to Mike. I closed those doors right there, so it blocks sound. And I have to charge my phone, so I'm gonna do that. But you guys already know I'm going to be reading When in Rome. Hello friends, happy day 5 of the back to school readathon. I am on my way to go check out that bookstore that I wanted to check out yesterday. The rain kept me away, but today I cannot be dissuaded. I'm going to check it out. It's just called Books, I think, and it's new and used books. So don't have any books in mind to purchase, but you never know what we're gonna find. So I'm gonna go check that out and then get some coffee and then come home, and then I will update you about When in Rome by Sarah Adams, because I started that last night on sprints. I read about 48%. I'm absolutely loving it and I can't wait to continue. Tell me why I find this so funny. There's the bookstore. It's just called Books. We'll start with my update from last night. I started When in Rome by Sarah Adams and I am loving it. You can hear all about me and Jesse going back and forth about this book on the Monday night reading sprints. Just our banter back and forth was so much fun, but she was also enjoying it, but I was like loving it, or I should say I am loving it. Definitely getting those 5-star feelings. I'm just obsessed with this, and it has some things in it that I don't typically like I don't really care about celebrities and stuff like that, but I do love a good small town, and this has the best small town vibes. It's a grumpy sunshine, and like I'm just loving it so much. But anyway, I made it 48%, so like almost 50. I'm on chapter 19, page 156, and I'm hoping to finish this up today actually. Like I said, I had a lot of work to do this morning. I launched some cute little fall mugs. It says fall is my favorite, and it has the cutest little illustration, and I did the color blocking mugs, and there's orange, red, and black. And if you go into my Instagram under my merch tab, you will see the mugs. But anyway, they are freaking adorable. Or you can check out my Patreon, and that post is public, and it also has a picture of the mugs and a link to buy them. But anyway, I just got back from running out to a new to me bookstore. Anyway, I decided to go ahead and support them. The guy behind the register was so nice and so funny. But I got 𝒂𝒏 McFadden's new book, The Coworker, and it sounds really good. This is her 2023 release. And no, I haven't read anything by this author yet, but I did pick up The Housemaid when I was in Nashville with Keisha and Gabby. So maybe I could read them together. But yeah, this one just sounded really good. They actually have a couple of 𝒂𝒏 McFadden's. I thought about getting all of them, but I was like, slow your roll, Gwen. But this one says, 2 women, an office filled with secrets, 1 terrible crime that can't be taken back. So that's all I'll leave you with, but I'm very excited I got this, and it was like $1 off of the retail value. And then I also found a new tea place. So I went to Ninja Tea, and I got the honeydew milk tea with boba pearls in it, and it's so good. So I'm gonna enjoy this, but they also have like fruit teas and stuff like that. But yeah, so that was my afternoon. Hey, I finally looked it up. It's called Smith Discount Books. Smith Discount Books. That's the store. Hello, party people. It's movie night on my Patreon. We're gonna be watching The Heathers, which I'm very excited about. It's been many years since I've watched it, but right before now, I finished up When in Rome by Sarah Adams, and you guys, you have to read this book. It is so stinking cute. I love everything about it. It kind of sort of reminds me a little bit of the Happy Ever After playlist, just because of like the celebrity and, well, like a singer celebrity, like a musician, and like a normal person, like a non-celebrity. And oh my God, I want to move to Rome, Kentucky. I just love, I love it so much, you guys. 5 out of 5 stars. Now let's make some popcorn for the movie. Let's ignore my hair that I have going on, but I'm gonna try these Jammy Dodgers, raspberry flavored. Yeah. They look like this. There's 8 biscuits in here. Straight from the UK. Tonight is the bookish superlatives, so I need to pull the books for that. I'm trying to figure out what my day is looking like. I've just been working for a little bit on some Patreon stuff, watching some YouTube videos, catching up on that. But yeah, I will catch up with you guys when I'm pulling the books for the bookish superlatives. Quick update. I didn't really take you to pull the books from my shelves for tonight's bookish superlatives. I just got some devastating news about my dad, but it seems like everything is okay for the time being. It's kind of personal, don't feel like sharing, but if my mood is a little bit like up and down, that's why. Hold on, I need to just take a breath, you know? All right, you guys, I just finished the Bookish Superlatives live show. It was so much fun. I have a stack of books over there that I need to put away. I thought I would go ahead and wrap up all of the books that I read for the readathon, but I also just wanted to say thank you so much to everybody that participated in the readathon. It was literally literally so much fun. I hope you had nearly as much fun as I did because it was just a blast. But I thought I could go through quickly everything I read. I started the readathon reading the Au Pair by Emma Rouse. I rated this book 3 stars. I thought it was atmospheric. I liked the writing. I just wasn't a fan of the plot or the mystery. I read this for the prompt of social studies, which was to read a book with multiple timelines. Next up, I read a small little Fear Street vintage YA horror book called One Evil Summer by R.L. Stine. So I read this for the math prompt, One Evil Summer, and then I also read it for the science prompt because the science prompt was to read a book with sun, moon, or stars on the cover, and there's a moon right here. I left this unrated, but I think if I read this when I was like 15 years old, I would have ate it up. But it's kind of like cheesy, campy, but I kind of loved it at the same time. It was a lot gorier than I thought it was going to be. So there's that. And then I dove into a bunch of graphic novels. I read Ballad for Sophie, and this is my favorite graphic novel that I've ever read. I read this for the art school or the art class prompt, which was just to read a comic, manga, or graphic novel, and I love graphic novels, so I read this one. It's 305 pages, so I picked like a hefty one to read for the prompt, but this just covers so much and it's so beautiful and the art is stunning. Like I said, it kind of reminds me a little bit of Evelyn Hugo, but like in the best way possible. Different plot, but kind of similar setup. And then I read Battle Royale, another graphic novel. I read this for lunch, and because it has recipes inside, these two go to a cooking competition. It was super fun and just like, I don't know, it was just so wholesome. And then I read the Heartstopper yearbook, which is actually in the back to school giveaway prize pack. So I'm going to be sending a copy to Jordan. Not this copy, this is my copy, but she's going to get her own copy. But basically this is just like an art book set in the Heartstopper world universe, and there's like a whole bunch of different things in here, but I really did enjoy it. It's not important to read to understand the story of Nick and Charlie, but if you love that universe, you'll definitely want your own copy. So I really did enjoy that. And then last but not least, I read When in Rome by Sarah Adams for the prompt for PE class, physical education, for an activity, because there's like some baking and cooking and burning of pancakes in here. But I absolutely love this. This is my favorite book that I read during the readathon, and then of course Ballad for Sophie is my favorite graphic novel. But yeah, I really love this. I can't like recommend it enough. If you like cute, sweet, Hallmark, small town romances, then you definitely have to pick this up. If you enjoyed the Happy Ever After playlist by Abby Jimenez, you might like this as well, because it has the same kind of couple dynamics going on. You have a pop star and then like a non-celebrity living in a small town. So I really liked that. And then for the social studies prompt to watch a movie, last night with my patrons, I watched Heathers, which was great. So yeah, that is a wrap on this year's back to school readathon. Let me know if you participated and what your favorite book that you read. Let me know what you watched as well. Let me know if you ended up watching a movie and what you watched and if you enjoyed it. Yeah, but I had so much fun and I just loved all the participation in the live shows and the reading sprints and all of that. So thank you guys so much for your support, your participation, and yeah, I hope you had fun. So that's it for me. I guess I'm gonna go ahead and sign off tonight, but thank you for watching. I hope you're having a lovely day or night, and I'll see you guys again in another video very soon. Bye, friends.